back, everyone, to the 4th episode of our Happy February Love Month, where we're talking about love. This is the most exciting episode because we're going to get saucy and talk about sex. And it's going to be a little bow chicka wow wow going on up in here. Now, I have an interesting question that I came up with because I really want to know, love and sex, are they the same? And can you have sex without love? I think, Reverie thinks love lives in her groin, so we're going to let her start us off.
I don't actually. Let me make it clear that that's just one of the distinctions that some people, and I'm not saying me, but like a teenage boy can be like, oh my God, and I'm dating myself, but Farrah Fawcett, oh my God, I'm in love with her.
I don't know, my loins were quivering for Farrah Fawcett too.
Everyone was in love with Farrah Fawcett. So I'm answering the question first. Love and sex, are they the same? No, but it doesn't hurt to have both of them. I just have to say that. And where I want to come at this is from when I was in college, I actually got to interview some prostitutes. And that was one of the questions that I asked them. How do you, and some of them were married, how can you be a prostitute and separate sex and love? And they're like, oh, honey, it's not the same thing. This is a job. It's not love. I'm basically like a sex therapist.
Until we have more data available. No.
And it was eye-opening. To be 20 years old and interview prostitutes and hear what they had to say about the job that they did. And they laid it out on the line that no, they are not the same. But I mean, you're talking about in the sex working profession, they're not the same. But I mean, love and sex, for me, they're not the same, but sex is nice and is so much better when you love the person. Absolutely. I've never been a big person of sleeping around, but the times that I have had sex, they're always so much better when you're in love with the person. That's just the way it is. It's chemistry. Your body reacts differently. It's completely different when you love someone.
I feel like we should cut to the yoga chair again.
I love the yoga chair.
It's better.
So what about you, Karen? Are love and sex the same to you?
No, not at all. I do agree with you that I think with your romantically, if you are having sex and you love the person, it does make it better. But I don't know. There have been interactions where I've been intimate with someone and I didn't love them, and it's also been a nice experience. But yeah, just because of all these variations of love, we talked about all these different forms of love. We love family members, we love friends, we love our pets, the person at Starbucks. But are you going to have sex with them? I don't, I feel like there is a line. You could say, I love you, but you're not always going to be intimate with that person in that way, a physical way. And I just feel like, the physical aspect of that, like when we talk about sex, there's a kind of, there's a physical action with that doesn't, I don't know, it's like you were saying earlier, it's this chemistry. It has nothing to do with your head and your heart. And you might be like, I'm gonna get down with you, like that might be in your head. But it's not, I don't feel like it all, I don't really think it has anything to do with love. I think they can go hand in hand, but I think they are completely separate from one another.
Well, the whole reason I came up with this question was because, my childhood really fucked me up for a long time.
Yeah.
And I used to think that sex meant love because of how I grew up. You know, when you have people telling you that they love you and they're sexually abusing you, you begin to believe that sex is love. And I don't know if you remember this or not, Rev. I think you had come in from college, so it was like our early 20s, and we had gone out. I had just lost my baby. I was really, really devastated. I had just was really depressed from that moment. And you took me out and you got me really stoned and really drunk on wine coolers. Wine coolers. And I remember thinking, you know, you have always poured out such a love to me that was foreign to me. You know, it was a true unconditional love that came from you. And so I remember I was so stoned and so drunk, and I thought I wanted to kiss you. I had leaned in to kiss you because I thought, she loves me. I have to have sex with her. That's what you do when you love somebody, you have sex with them. And I felt in that moment, I felt so much love for you because you were there for me in such a hard time that I wanted to lean in and kiss you. And you were so gentle about telling me, you know, no, honey, we're sisters. That's not right. You don't do that. And I think that was probably the first moment in my life that I went, oh, maybe sex isn't love. Maybe you're not supposed to have sex with everybody that you love just because you love them. The point is, it took me many, many years. I still didn't reconcile that sex didn't equal love for a long time, especially with men. You know, I would go out with men, I would sleep with them, and I would think because we were having sex that meant that they loved me. And then, you know, I would pour my heart open to them and always get hurt because of it. And it took many years of therapy and actually working through all of those issues to recognize that no, sex is not love. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
And you can choose to love somebody, or you can choose to not love somebody, whether you're sleeping with them or not. And it is a chemical reaction. I'm going to tell you why love does not live in your loins. It is a chemical reaction that happens when you have sex. It releases oxytocin and vasopressin. And those are chemical hormones that are released to bond you with the person. It's a caveman evolutionary thing, you know, the herd mentality. They want you to bond with another person. So when you have that physical connection, it releases those hormones to make you stay connected, because there's safety in numbers, and you want to keep, you know, your family, you want to procreate and keep your family safe. So that's what those chemicals do. And it takes 1.5 to 2 years for those chemicals to wear off.
Wow.
Which is why they call the first couple of years that you're with somebody the honeymoon phase. It's, you know, your rose-colored glasses. It's all chemicals. That's not love. But you have to be careful, and I learned this the hard way. Be careful who you sleep with and how many times you sleep with them, because those chemicals are getting released. And now men are much better about shutting their emotions off and being able to walk away from somebody, but women just aren't. We're emotional creatures, and that doesn't make us weaker. Matter of fact, I think it makes us stronger, is the fact that we lean into our emotions and we don't try to stifle them down. But we also have to take care to protect ourselves, because we will bond with somebody and we will get emotionally attached to somebody when we're having sex with them. And you have to look at it from this aspect of the in and the out as well. You know, the man has an outie because he has the penis, and the girl has the innie because she has the vagina. So the man is simply putting himself into her, but what she's doing is she is taking him in to her body. And that is a soul changing experience. So
well, you're just speaking very specifically to, you know, a certain kind of combination of sex. We're not talking about homosexual sex. So
yes, I don't know about homosexual sex because I don't have homosexual sex.
Right, but you just were talking about it in a chemical way. So like, I don't know what that experience is like either, but I don't know. Do you think it's different? Do you have any kind of thoughts on it being different?
Well, yes, because I do, again, I'm not going to say his name. I have a homosexual friend who has told me that, there's in that aspect, there's tops and bottoms.
Yes.
So, which means essentially one is penetrating and one is taking in. So, and generally the one that's taking in is going to be more likely to lean into their emotions than the one that's penetrating. Now, when you talk about lesbians, I have absolutely no idea. I know that, I have had sex with women, and it was not as a bonding of an experience for me. But I think maybe that's just because I prefer men. I don't really know, but I would love to hear from our homosexual viewers on what they think about sex and love and how they feel about it. Because the other aspect, when you bring that up, is talking to the homosexual community. Homosexual men are very open and free with sex. And oftentimes, they'll have sex right out of the gate just to get out of the way, and then end up being friends and not even dating. But then,
well, not necessarily. It really depends on the person.
It does. No, I'm generalizing. I'm totally generalizing just from the group of homosexuals that I've spoken to. They're very free and open with the sex. And, they just want lots and lots of sex with multiple partners. And again, I'm generalizing the group of lesbians that I'm friends with. They're very bonding. They want to be with just one person. They don't want to be spreading the wealth around, so to speak. So it's different. It's a different love sex connection when you go from straight to homosexual. And I can't really speak to the homosexual because I'm not homosexual.
Well, I'd really like to know what our viewers think about all of this.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
So drop a comment below and let us know your viewpoint.
And who has a yoga chair? That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna have to get one of these yoga chairs.
Everybody needs to get a yoga chair. Oh my God. I need to get a yoga chair.
I was gonna say, where is your yoga chair?
Oh yeah, it's like $300. Somebody buy me a yoga chair.
We're gonna do a fundraiser.
Oh, do a GoFundMe so Mia can get a yoga chair.
Maybe Cupid will bring you your yoga chair.
Yeah, this Cupid or you Cupid?
Like, why Cupid? Why is Cupid the stamp of love? The symbol, the role model.
It's like a baby in a diaper, right? Cupid is? Is it because love is supposed to be pure?
I think it's from Greek mythology, Cupid. But I don't know. That's something that we need to look up.
Where did Cupid come from? Who's making this shit up? How did Valentine's Day even come about? Where did it even come from?
A boy gave a girl a heart on a card a long time ago, and it said, "I love you," and that was the first Valentine.
Did it come in a box, like dick in a box?
Dick in a box. I don't know.
I don't know, but if you get me that for Valentine's Day, I will be yours, Karen.
I love like all the expressions when like, they look at it and they're like, it's what I always wanted.
Everybody needs a dick in a box.
It's my in a box. It's in a box.
Oh, we always are going off the rails with
Yeah,
something.
we're always going off the rails.
We are sideways. So let's go ahead and wrap this up with another poem from Rumi. Love is not an emotion, it's your very existence. And I just want to take a little moment to say, all you need is love. For real, just like the song. You have to have love in your life. You have to give it and you have to receive it. And that's the important thing too, is to remember to receive it. Because a lot of people struggle with receiving love.
That's true. But you also have to give it. And I love you, divas. I love you both.
And don't forget to love yourself as well.
Absolutely love yourself.
So I love you, Karen.
I love you, Leah.
I love you, Rev.
And I think I'm going to put out tonight.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap it up with our slogan. And be sure to tune in to our next conversation.
Unify
and rise up.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo, Mia, can I take this dress off now? My balls are really itching.